Hey everybody, it's Tanya Brewington. I'm the CEO and founder of Courageously Alive. And I want to talk about something. I did mention this last week, or I mentioned it before, but I want to mention it again because I think it bears repeating. That we are revisiting and restarting the Courageous Conversations, the Fireside Chats. And for those of you who know anything about the Fireside Chats, or you've been a participant because you thought it was good, it winds up being a place where we actually have conversations that are deemed difficult. They're deemed tough to talk about. And what I do with the Fireside Chats is provide what I consider a safe space. It's a space where you can actually allow yourself to share important, sensitive, touchy information in an environment that's non-judgmental. It's the no judgment zone, really, when we're in these conversations. The next Fireside Chat will take place in October, and that topic is really about sexual assault. It is about the emotional toll that sexual abuse and sexual assault takes on a person. Now, in my case, we're talking about women simply because women, that's the platform, that is the group that I really focus a lot of my time and attention on. But I know that based on experience, based on research, based on the facilitation that I've done for women who've experienced sexual assault, I know that sexual assault doesn't just happen to women. It also happens to men or boys, and even for adult men in different situations. So this month in October, we're going to talk about the impact of sexual assault, what it looked like, and how really we wind up carrying it for those people who have experienced sexual assault, how it shows up in your life, even years and years and years after that particular experience. Because what I know and what other people know who have who talk about sexual assault, who work with women who've experienced sexual assault, is it's one of those things that causes problems because we don't talk about it. People who experience sexual assault tend not to talk about it. They hide it. They're ashamed. They feel like they have no value because someone actually objectified them so much that they took something from them without their permission. And what was taken from you is your body, And so there's a sense of devaluing who you are. There's a sense of a loss of control around your own person because someone chose to do that to you without your permission, without your authorization. And when we're talking about sexual assault, I'm talking about it can range. There are lots of different categories. It can range from incest. It can range from molestation, which might be someone touched you. Incest can be when someone actually physically tried to penetrate you or did penetrate you as a child. The molestation is about touching. You could have experienced date rape. This is when you've gone on a date with someone, you're thinking it's just a date, and that person's intentions were different and they wanted to, subject you to a sexual assault. It could be rape. And the reality is, I'm just going to stick with those because then you also have people who are married and who are forced to have sex with their husbands. And so that, that's a little bit different, but it still falls under that umbrella of sexual assault. And so the thing about this is we don't always know who has experienced sexual assault and who hasn't. Because there's no sign on our heads or on anyone's head that says, excuse me, that you've experienced sexual assault. But those people who've experienced know. And they also know that typically they don't talk about it. They don't share. There's no discussion about it. There's no, and oftentimes the discussion is not even with yourself. You refuse to look at it, which is what makes it worse. Because we keep traumatizing ourselves over and over and over again. If you think about it, you might be traumatized. If you think about the person who did it, you might be traumatized. If you think about the experience, you might be traumatized. And so what we're doing is we're offering this safe space. And I'm saying we because I have a guest. Her name is Jeannie Armstrong. She's a licensed social worker and who has worked with people in this particular space. And we are going to have this discussion about the emotional toll of sexual abuse. And we're going to look at what healing looks like in this space. And so, for those of you who are interested, for those of you who think that you are aware of someone who might have had this experience, I would just say share it to another woman, share it with women that you know, because the reality is we don't know who, and it could be anyone in your space, and you just don't know who has had this experience. It could even be you. And so I'm going to ask you that as you're watching this and you're looking at it and you're thinking about it, share the video, because this provides a space, a forum, and a format for the women who have had this experience to really look at healing, what it looks like, what it takes, and we offer a space for you to sit and talk about this experience. All right, so bye for now. I hope this has served those of you who are following me, and you really want to know what this courageous conversation is about. It really is a chance, a space, a format for people who've had this experience to heal. All right, take care.